I'm Douglas Christensen, Channel X News.
In area news impacting us at this hour on a Friday morning, February 3rd, 2017, a 14-year-old's quick thinking is being credited with solving a burglary in Blaine, south of Mars Hill. According to state police, 50-year-old Doris Tardy of Blaine was arrested and charged with burglary, theft of drugs, and possession of oxycodone. The unnamed 14-year-old was home from school, saw an unfamiliar vehicle in the family's driveway, and then noticed a woman walking around inside his house. The teenager hid outside, hearing doors and drawers being opened and closed on both the first and second floors. He used that time to take pictures of the car, its license plate, and to place a call to his mother. The mother encountered the intruder as she was exiting the house. That's when state police were called. Troop F Commander Brian Harris says troopers Patrick Pescatelli and Adam Studemeyer arrested Tardy at her home a short time later. Troopers did not reveal the gender of the fast-acting teenager, but offered praise for his or her work and for remaining safe. The Madawaska School Department continues its work on putting a school budget in place. The school district is still without a spending plan, even though they are 7 months into the school year. Superintendent Giselle Dion brought $56,000 in cuts to the last meeting with the Finance Committee. They asked her to cut another $60,000 from the budget. Dion is considering making changes in several areas: staffing, transportation, heating costs, and insurance. The new budget will be submitted to the Finance Committee at their joint meeting on February the 8th. Well, NB Power has made a lot of progress, but for the 3,500 customers still in the dark and cold this morning, that hardly matters. At the height of the storm 10 days ago, the New Brunswick utility had 135,000 customers, more than a third of the province, without electricity. The utility saw some 400 power poles and miles of wire crumble under the ice that hit hard, particularly in the eastern part of the province. NB Power crews have been joined by linesmen from Maine, Quebec, and Nova Scotia in its effort to get the power back for everyone. The Attorney General's office says the state set a new record for overdose deaths last year with 378, more than one a day. Attorney General Janet Mills says the number of overdose deaths climbed from 272 in 2015. That was a record at the time, and it was 31% higher than in 2014. They say the influx of fentanyl contributed heavily to the death surge. Opiate drugs such as fentanyl and heroin are the leading factors in these fatalities. Mills says 313 of the deaths were due to opioids, both pharmaceutical and illicit. Fentanyl is a synthetic opiate that is much more potent than heroin and has been used as a pharmaceutical painkiller. She says that powered version of the drug is now prevalently being produced illegally in labs. Maine State Senate has approved asking the state's highest court to rule on the ranked choice style of voting that voters approved in November. Voters would rank their preferred candidates, allowing for an instant runoff of top vote getters in a multi-candidate contest. The request asked the Supreme Judicial Court to rule whether the ranked choice system satisfies requirements of the state constitution. Republican State Senate President Michael Thibodeau said the issue isn't about whether you like or dislike the ranked voting choice, while several supporters of ranked choice voting say they support the request. Democratic Senator Sheena Bello says legislators should follow the people's will. That measure passed 24 to 10. The request does not delay the implementation of ranked choice voting. The court could issue an advisory opinion or decide not to weigh in at all. Governor Paul LePage and Senator Susan Collins disagree over whether philanthropist Betsy DeVos should be confirmed as the new U.S. Education Secretary. Collins says she will not support the nomination of DeVos. Collins is concerned that DeVos' lack of experience with public schools, saying that would make it difficult for her to identify and address the challenges they face. Governor Paul LePage said that Collins' stance is concerning. He said the senator's vote should reflect the desire to improve the education system. He believes that includes charter schools and private schools. DeVos is a supporter of school choice, voucher programs, and charter schools. The nomination would die if DeVos loses the support of one more Republican and all of the Democrats vote against her. A second funeral service in as many days will be held this afternoon to remember victims of the Quebec City mosque attack. Mourners will gather to pay tribute to the people who were killed, 3 of them. A ceremony was held in Montreal yesterday for all 3. 3 other people were shot to death. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau told the service that the carnage has left Canada reeling in shock, but has also unified the country in solidarity with Muslims. Voters in Caribou, Stockholm, and Limestone will be making 2 big decisions on Tuesday. That's the day that RSU 39 residents go to the polls to decide the fate of plans to build a new $45.6 million elementary middle school, one that will be paid for entirely by the state, not the local property tax. The second question is for a second gymnasium as part of the new school, one priced at $2.3 million. That will be paid for by local property taxes. However, School Superintendent Tim Doak does not anticipate any increase in taxes because 4 old buildings will be taken out of service, saving the district an estimated $700,000. Okay, $697,000 in operating expenses. As for elementary school students in Limestone, Stockholm, they will stay put for now.
That's correct. Limestone has its own elementary school. Actually, Limestone's a K-12 school. Stockholm doesn't have a school anymore. They are part of the RSU, but we've worked a deal with New Sweden because it's a little bit closer for those students to travel. But we're seeing as this new school is being built, we've had a lot of phone calls from parents asking about the new school. And, in 3 or 4 years' time from when it's built from now, we may see a more of an influx of coming into the Caribou school.
The new school will be built where Teague Park is now, eliminating that community asset. However, Doak says the park will be replaced across the street.
Things in phases because the Learning Center has to be tore down because that's going to be the new Teague Park where the Learning Center is next to Daigle Oil. So right between Daigle Oil and the Caribou Wellness Center, Recreation and Wellness Center, we will put the new Teague Park. The school will go where Teague Park is, and a lot of people don't really realize where the school is. But if you know the softball field at Teague Park, the front door will be first base is where the front door will be. So that whole switch will have to be in phases because the town is going to be getting a new park out of this also. So that's something that we feel is we're pretty fortunate. So I guess when you drive up Bennett Drive in 2020, you'll have a whole new facility on Bennett Drive with a brand new school and a brand new Teague Park with a softball field, basketball courts, tennis courts.
Tuesday's vote will be decided on the total ballots from the 3 communities, with no one municipality having a veto. We will continue our chat with RSU 39 School Superintendent Tim Doak tomorrow morning. Canadian dollar is worth 76.77 cents U.S. this morning. That is down 1/100th of a cent from yesterday afternoon. The loonie is now 2 1/3 cents higher than it was at the beginning of the year. U.S. dollar worth $1.30.26 Canadian. You've just been uploaded on the X.